It's about that time again.
What is up, guys? If you're watching this, that means you got another day. I am in my house in Hollywood, California, because today we're gonna do a rating the eight of the dopest cars that I have ever been in. Now, I wanted to make sure if I was gonna rate cars for you guys, that they were cars that I've actually experienced so that I can give you a full rating from a user's experience and not just a, hey, I saw it at a car show one time. Each vehicle is gonna have 4 different ratings. 1 for dopeness, 1 for unique features, 1 for drivability, and finally 1 for price. And we're gonna average them all out and see of the vehicles that I've experienced, which is the best one. And I can guarantee you that some of you are gonna be triggered. Let's jump into it. Coming in at number 1, it's gotta be the Lamborghini Huracan. I mean, they're all over Los Angeles. I literally can't go a day without seeing one. Literally last night, somebody in the Airbnb next door had one rented and gave it the cold start, and I recognized the sound immediately. For dopeness, the Huracan gets a perfect 10. It's my favorite car. The Huracan Performante, the Evo, I don't care which trim you put on it, this car is perfectly designed. It is a work of art. Dopeness, level 10. Unique features, I gotta give it a 6 though, because there's not really anything about the Huracan besides just the speed and handling and engineering that make it dope. Once you're inside the car, I mean, yeah, you have the Alcantara interior trim, the smell that comes with the Huracan, but there's not a lot of like creature comforts and features that really level this car up, so we're gonna give it a 6, just barely above halfway. Coming in next with drivability, perfect 10, and I want to stress that this is rating the all-wheel drive Performante trim of the Huracan, which is the one that I've experienced the most. This car, you can take corners and canyons at full speed. You can slam on the gas down PCH and hit top speed. The sound, it's like a violent thunderstorm hiding behind you. The car gets a perfect 10. There's nothing about this that you can do or tune or perfect. It comes off the line absolutely perfect as a driver's car. The only thing that could possibly give it run for its money is Porsche, and we'll get to that in a second. And finally, the price. It gets a 7. Now, if you look at the actual base level Huracan, these things aren't too crazy. A little bit over $100,000, $130,000, depending on how many miles you have on it. Once you jump into Performante and Evo range, it definitely gets up there, but everybody just relax because whatever you pay for that car is gonna be worth it. So the Huracan's overall score is 8.25. Coming in at number 2 is the Porsche GT4, level of dopeness 7. Guys, I'm like obsessed with this car. It's the one car that has made me almost consider getting instead of another Mustang for my next car. I've taken it out a couple different times. It is a stick shift manual Porsche. It is a driver's car to the core. As far as unique features, I give it a 7 because it's got the little clock on the dash. It's got this beautifully crafted steering wheel on the inside. The gauge cluster is unforgettable. I literally dream about it at night. And then the wing on the back is just a nice balance to the Cayman body. Feels like a GT2 RS on the inside. I think if you put me inside of both and didn't tell me which was which, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. For drivability, 10. It's a Porsche. It's a German engineered car with a manual gear shift and perfect weight balance. Of course it gets a 10. This car, I've taken it in the rain, I've taken it on the canyons, I've taken it on the freeway, I've city driven it. The clutch is butter to use, despite the video that I'm gonna release probably later on in the future with me driving one.
Pop the clutch.
How many times?
3 or 4.
6, 7.
And finally, price, I give it a 9. This car can dip below the $100,000 range, and it's like kind of in the supercar range. If someone sees it, they know that it's above your average car, and if you get it with a few miles on it, you can get this thing for as low as $70,000, which is super attainable as a vehicle. Some of you guys are paying more than that for your dumb SUVs. So the Porsche GT4's overall score, tied with the Huracan, 8.25. Moving on to the Mustang GT350. Dopeness level 9. This thing is American classic. It's naturally aspirated. It's got a flat plane crankshaft. It sounds awesome. It's affordable. Unique features, 6. This is a Mustang. It's not known for creature comforts. It's not known for special features. It's not supposed to have anything cool in it. Drivability, 8. Anybody that's taken this car around the track will tell you that it is the first Mustang to finally belong on a track with turns. It's got a very easy clutch to use. You can beat the crap out of this car and it will hold up on the track. It's got some massive brakes that come with it, and it just overall performs well. As far as price, 9. Because these cars depreciated tremendously after their first year, as do most American muscle cars, so you can pick one up from somewhere between the $40,000 and $60,000 range, depending on how many miles are on it, which is fantastic if you're trying to get a badass looking muscle car and not break the bank. Overall score for the Mustang GT350 is an 8. Moving on to the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. one of my favorite luxury vehicles ever to drive. Now I had to throw a luxury vehicle in here so we're not just all talking performance. Right off the bat, dopeness level 9. If you pull up to any event in a Cullinan, even if it's a rental, you have dropped dollars on this thing and you are somebody. It's got suicide doors. It's got umbrellas in the doors. It's got color schemes that are like the black. You can get it black with orange interior. Like this is a Don's car. So unique features, obviously through the roof. 10. It has a seat that inflates and deflates as you shift your weight in the driver's seat. A steering wheel that's like butter to turn. Dead silent on the inside with a bumping sound system. Plenty of leg room no matter what seat you're in. As I drove this car around LA, I could literally run over a pothole at 50 miles an hour and I don't even think I'd feel it. Drivability also 10. The driver's experience, it feels like you're in a hotel on wheels. This thing is luxury to the max. I've been in Bentleys. I've been in pretty much any Rolls Royce that's on their fleet. I've been in Mercedes. The Cullinan destroys everything. It's not like the Cullinan is even better than other Rolls Royces in terms of luxury and comfort. However, where the Cullinan falls short, price point is a 1 because this is gonna push you over the $400,000 range. This car is incredibly expensive and I'm not sure if it's worth it unless you got lots of money to burn. Overall score for the Cullinan, 7.5. Now, it wouldn't be a fun video if I just rated all these cool cars the whole time. We gotta throw in some of the worst cars that I've been in as well. And coming in first with one of the worst cars that I've been in is the McLaren 570S. These things are like candy in LA. Everybody has one. They've all thrown a wrap on an exhaust kit and called it their modified build supercar. Like, I'm tired of seeing 570s. They're okay if you add a wing to them, it's a little bit better, but at the end of the day, like, we get it. You've leased a supercar, you started your own business, congratulations. Dopeness level 3. Unique features, also not that high, comes in at a 4. Yeah, it's got the butterfly doors, which is nice. It's an entry-level supercar to get you in the scene, but there's not a lot about this car that excites me. And even from a drivability standpoint, I gave it a 3 because it's just basic. Maybe if you tuned it up and added some more performance parts on this to make it a little crazier, and at least an exhaust kit, a full exhaust kit to make it sound better, there's nothing about this car that's redeeming. As far as price, I gave this car a 7 because it is one of the cheapest supercars that you can get, and for a lot of you guys that are trying to get in a supercar but don't want to really break the bank, it's a good option. However, the price isn't really worth it for the car you can get because if you're gonna spend what you have to spend for a 570S, you might as well get a GT4. Overall from the McLaren 570S is 5.75. Coming in at the second, I guess worst car ever is the BMW i8. Dopeness level 3. These things aren't even cool. They were never cool in any color spec that you could possibly do to this car. I'd rather have an M4. As far as unique features, there's not a lot of those either. Yeah, this car also has the butterfly doors to it. And then aside from like the Roadster model having like being a convertible, do have the interior like glowy kind of lighting, but there's just not enough in this car to make me scream, oh yeah, I got a BMW i8. I still don't have a BMW i8 though. Drivability, level 3. This is a 3-banger car. I don't even know if it needs an exhaust kit. You might as well drive a Tesla. This thing sucks with exhaust tone as far as like handling and speed. It just doesn't feel quick. It doesn't have that supercar passion, adrenaline rushing experience. It's like a faster Prius that's slightly louder. I'm just not a fan at all. Price point 5 because you can still get these things kind of cheap, but they're discontinued for a reason. Overall score for the BMW i8, 3.75, and that's generous. Maserati Quattroporte. I'm probably saying that wrong, but who cares? No one follows this car. Dopeness level 3. It's like your grandpa decided to be a little fun and upgraded from his, I don't know, base level Cadillac. Unique features, again, 3. This is a Maserati. You should get in this era on design. Your touchscreen navigation system looks like it comes from the early 2000s. All of your design treatments, trim, and color combinations, just who's using wood in the dashboard still? This car was also designed by your grandpa. Drivability 5. I just don't feel like I can go fast with this thing. It's like a boat with no other nimble characteristics to redeem it on drivability. Price point 2 because God, does Maserati want a lot for this car even after the depreciation curve is hit, which Maserati is notorious for, so I gave it a 2 on price. Overall, 3.25. And finally, one of the last cars on the list, and this one falls in the worst category, the G-Wagon 4x4 Square. All the mall crawling stay-at-home moms in LA are freaking out right now because I just insulted their favorite daily. Dopeness level 8 because we're talking about the 4x4 Squared here, guys. This this is a lifted G-Wagon. It looks pretty cool. Like, it's high off the ground, you feel like you can drive over traffic, and if you put a good exhaust kit on it, it actually sounds pretty badass. But as far as unique features go, more like a 5. I mean, it does still give you luxurious feelings when you're inside because it is a Mercedes-Benz, and it was designed well appearance-wise. A center console, which is loaded up with way too many dials and switches for the average user, and the navigation system is cumbersome to use. Drivability 1. This is the worst car ever to drive, especially in Los Angeles. Every time you hit the brakes, the thing rocks back and forth. The suspension on it is atrocious. Let's be honest, guys, you're not taking this car off-road. You don't need all the extra height, really. It's like a baby deer on ice skates. It just never seems to have a good grip on the ground, and even the slightest bit of brake or gas makes you feel like you're gonna topple over. And finally, price point 3. These things go over $100,000. Why are you spending that much on a luxury vehicle that isn't even giving you a luxury ride? If you're going to spend over $100,000 on an SUV for your stay-at-home mom, then you should get her like a BMW X5 or an Audi Q series or something. But I mean, if you wanna be seen by everybody and you want to feel like you can run over cars while you're on your way to go pick up Chanel, then I guess the G-Wagon 4x4 Squared is for you. Overall score, 4.25. Guys, that about does it for my rating. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I triggered a bunch of you on some of your favorite cars. If you don't agree with me, keep in mind that this was an opinion, but I would love for you to drop yours in the comments below. Tell me what the dopest car you've ever been in, and tell me which cars you think are overrated as well. Remember, we drop videos every single Sunday, every single Tuesday, and every single Thursday. Guys, I can't wait for the video that's later today. I got access to a crazy car and I'm driving it to a crazy location, and lots of cool things are gonna happen. So by the time you see this video, I will be editing that one. So be looking out for that very soon. I'm going to be a YouTuber this year. 2020 is our year. We're going full time. So I need you to share this with somebody. And someone also told me to click the notification bell, which tells you when I upload a video. Because when I get views quickly right after an upload, it gives my video momentum and more people can see it, and YouTube will show it to more people, and then I can make crazier videos for you guys. So click the notification bell wherever the hell that is, and make sure that you watch my videos as soon as they are uploaded. Drop a like, and I'll catch you at the next one. Peace!
I might lie to you just to get through the night with you. Hope that's alright. No, you lie to me. It's only right.